Bryan Barrett with Rutherford Weather. Glad you're joining us here on a Friday, 16th day of May, and we are expecting some severe weather. What you can see here is the Storm Prediction Center outlook. We're looking at Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, entire Rutherford County area in this orange. That is a level 3 out of 5 for severe weather. And as you can see, just to the north of downtown Nashville, that's a level 4 out of 5 for severe weather. Going to have a line of storms come through during the overnight time period. I know, an overnight time period. Could have some storms pop up ahead. That's a little uncertain right now, but we are pretty confident in a line of storms moving through a bit later on, and they're going to pack a punch as we take a look at the chances of seeing a tornado. Rutherford County is kind of split here. So the northern half of Rutherford County is in 10% risk for a tornado. That's pretty significant. South of Murfreesboro, the southern end of Rutherford County, has about a 5% chance of a tornado. It goes from 2 to 5 to 10 and upward. And the hatching that you see, the black outline with the hatching, that means there could be a significant tornado. So all of this to say the tornado risk is not the greatest, but it is there, okay? That's not the primary threat. If we had to put them in order, probably wind and hail, and then tornado. But we do have a risk of tornadoes, and that could be, on the stronger side here in the county as well. So something we'll definitely watch. We're going to kind of time things out for you here in just a few. The wind threat, significant. As you can see, all of Rutherford County here is in the 30% wind risk, with the 45% wind risk up north of Nashville. Hence the 4 out of 5 there, 3 out of 5 for us. And a chance for significant winds. Just got finished with a briefing from the National Weather Service, and they mention winds 60, 70, even 80 miles per hour plus with winds. And that's definitely enough to bring down trees, tree branches, power lines. So we'll have to keep on top of that this evening. The hail risk, pretty significant as well. We're in that 15% hail risk just north of Nashville, the 30% hail risk, and we are outlined for the possibility of some significant hail. What does that mean? Well, 2 inches or greater. The National Weather Service has some information out there. Could be 3-inch hail. So 2-inch hail is about the size of a hen egg. As we get to 2.5 tennis ball, baseball's 2.75 or 2 3/4 inch, and a softball is 4-inch hail. So that kind of gives you some ideas of how large this hail could be. Don't necessarily think it's going to be on that 4-inch side, but we could have some big hail. And sometimes when we get these warnings and it says ping pong size hail, and you're saying, well, these aren't ping pongs, these are smaller than that. We are looking at the storm from the radar beam several thousand feet into the air. So that's why sometimes you don't get that. But if there's one hailstone that's that size, that's why you go with the largest. Okay. So anyway, just know that hail is a possibility with the storms this evening. So radar right now, pretty quiet. One thing I would like to point out here is there was a morning line of storms in northern Tennessee. And what you're seeing right through here is kind of a boundary. And while there is low confidence of storms this afternoon, this boundary could kind of pose a mechanism that could spark some storms. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that, and definitely could play into the overnight situation. But right now, nothing on the radar. So what is the timing? I know that's what everybody is concerned about. National Weather Service has Rutherford County in the time frame of 9 to 11 p.m., with the earliest being 8 p.m., the latest 1 a.m. I know that's a large window, but as we look at our future radar here in just a second, you'll see that it kind of fits within that window. So let's take a look at a couple of models. This does not mean that this is exactly how it's going to play out, but this is one model, and this is 8 p.m. tonight. We don't see a lot right here, right? So as we move it forward, here's 9 p.m. We're starting to see this line from Clarksville to Paris. By 10 p.m. through Nashville, we could have some rain here in Rutherford County, but you can see the brighter purples. That's kind of highlighting some of the heavier storms. But by 11 p.m., it's here. So this is showing this particular model between 10 and 11. It's going to be a pretty fast mover, too. By 12 o'clock, maybe the southern half of the county, and then by 1 o'clock, just some rain left over, and on out of here. That's one model run. Let's give you a look at another. This is the 3-kilometer NAM, and let's see if we can get it to load here properly for us. And here we go. So this is showing some scattered activity now. Well, that's not happening, right? That was even in the past. Here's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, so showing some maybe storm activity in northern Middle Tennessee. That'll have to be watched, but not really showing that much for us. By 7, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., there's 10 p.m., and you can see the line is a bit further to the west. That's why, you have to have this window. As we move forward in time, here's 11 p.m. and 12 p.m., so this is showing about an hour later. Just don't have a lot of confidence right now in terms of the exact timing. Just know anytime this evening and through the early morning hours possibly. But right now, nothing on the radar. A few things to point out. Graduations are happening over at MTSU this evening. There are all kinds of events going on in Rutherford County. You've got high school sports going on as well. We've got to have a way to receive warnings is the point here. Also, this is a nighttime threat. So we know that nighttime deaths occur because people aren't as weather aware. They're going to bed. You need to have a wake-up means of getting warning information. The National Weather Service did mention that we have not seen this type of strong chances for storms, tornadoes, damaging winds since that first week of April. And we know how that week went, right? Saw lots of damage across the state. Doesn't mean that it's going to be exactly like that. And here in Rutherford County, everything that came through kind of died out. But just know that this is the most significant chance this spring that we've had of severe weather since then. Making sure that you understand these storms are going to be quick movers too. It's going to get through the entire midstate in about 6 hours as well. 60 to 80 plus mile per hour winds. They highlighted that a couple of times. The winds with this are going to be high end. I mean, that's hurricane force wind possibilities. So we've got to be ready for that. Bring in those loose objects, get them close to the house, anything that could be flying potential, trash cans, things of that nature. You'll want to get those on in as well. So the main line, don't discount maybe some early storms possibly happening as well, but these storms could be pretty quick movers. After today, there are storm chances in the forecast. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Next week is spring fling. So again, we could have some storm chances by that time. We will be here to keep you updated on the Rutherford Weather Channel. Be sure to share this. This gets folks kind of their mind wrapped around we're going to have severe storms tonight. And be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you'll know when we're live on the Rutherford Weather Channel. Any warnings can also be heard on 1019 100.5 WGNS and WGNSradio.com. But we'll be here before the action hits the fan, if you will, and keep you ahead of the storm. Again, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with your Rutherford County friends to let them know that they can trust and keep up with the weather on Rutherford Weather.